Hard front and medium rear. The Ducatis tended to go to the grid soft front and rear.
8 races we've had here at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg. There's been 6 wins, 2 Ducati. They're red hot favourites here in this 28-lap Austrian Grand Prix. They've locked out the top 4 places. Now Bastianini on pole.
First sector, he's battling there with Johann Zarco, who's also gone backwards off the line. Aleix Espargaro down to 11th. Zarco's down to 12th.
Everybody safely through then that tight chicane then to Mir's gone down again. Joan Mir's horrendous. The last 9 races for the 2020 MotoGP World Champion. An early bath for Mir.
A real threat around this circuit as well. So 5th position into turn 9, and he does.
Yeah, Vinales gets through then on his former factory Yamaha teammate Fabio Quartararo. Ticked off, it's Bagnaia who leads from Bastianini. Miller there in 3rd place. It's an all Ducati top 4 as it was on the grid. Jorge Martin in 4th place.
Credit
lap that Johann Zarco wanted, having started from 6th place. Like Lewis said, he was pushed out of the top 10 at one stage. He did come over the line in 9th place, so he started those
particular left-handers, but they need to try and stop these 4 Ducatis from getting away. Vinales and Quartararo, if they're going to get on terms, they need to close that gap quickly.
Yeah, Vinales has already gapped 3.64. That was about a 10th quicker than Miller and Bastianini directly ahead of him on track.
I'll tell you who's made an incredible launch off the line.
By the South African rookie.
So as it stands at the moment, it's a 1.1 second gap back to this man, Maverick Vinales, on the leading factory. Inroads yet on the Ducatis up ahead of them as Miller now shapes for a move on the back of Bastianini for second.
It's been a good start to this Grand Prix as well for Mini VR46 rider Luca Marini, who was disappointed not to go through. Nightmare first lap. Johann Zarco now sets a new race record, a 1:31.10. He's up to 8th.
Credit to Aleix Espargaro again. He did a 1:30.158 last time around.
Well, 300 horsepower being put through those motors. Jorge Martin then goes through on Bastianini. He's in hot though. He got through.
He's been relegated 2 places on that lap. Fastest lap this time to the world champion Quartararo. It's been beaten by Aleix Espargaro, who does a 1:29.
Rocketing on the Aprilia with a 1:29.979. He's just trying to claw back that sort of 4/10th deficit that's opened up. Which
cost him 3 places in the end. He lost Quartararo, Aleix Espargaro and Zarco going through. Zarco was also in the 29s last time round, up behind Aleix.
Vinales, the Aprilia's had problems stopping in the hard braking zones all weekend. Bastianini tried to find a way back through on Martini. It's a move. Quartararo is fighting like a lion here, isn't he? What a job he's doing. He's got through on Bastianini. Bastianini's got a problem.
Oh.
There's a problem here for the Gresini Ducati. Major issue here and there. Bastianini had a big issue at turn 3. He is out of this Grand Prix, or certainly out of contention for the podium. Miller and Martin just set their personal best laps of this Grand Prix. 1:30.05. Miller gets up the inside of Pecco Bagnaia. Is he going to get in a little bit hot? Bagnaia just comes straight back on the inside on the cutback, down the hill into turn number 3.
At KTM's home Grand Prix, the team, of course, that Jack Miller is joining next year. They are coming under pressure, though, if they continue to battle, because the trio...
For the air fence. Simon, back down to you.
Yeah, he pointed at the front. The tyres still got air in it. The brake lever still. Those are checking out.
Down into turn 9. That's where Miller got in briefly for the lead on the previous lap. We're now riding on board with the 2 factory men ahead of him.
Miller sideways up behind his teammate as he closes in. We're on board then with the Australian on the number 43, but this could soon 0 last time around, which matched Quartararo and the leading pair of Ducatis. The only rider who was quicker than those 4 was Martin, who's closing in. He's now 1 second off the lead.
This ultimate corner.
Yeah, Miller clearly looks faster of the 2 at the moment. Once again, though, it was Martin who was the quickest of the leading trio.
Single manufacturer lockout of the podium in 2022. Ducati did it in the last Grand Prix of 2021 in Valencia last year. Miller's so good on that left-hander, the second of the left-handers through turn 7, which then sets him up when they flick it hard right through turn. As you can see on the box on the left-hand side of your screen, top 3 men are still there. Taka Nakagami then it is on the Idemitsu LCR Honda. Not a crash that he needed as he's riding from
the wheel. He'd have been losing front pressure and then couldn't turn in, you know, as it deflates. It wasn't completely flat for sure, but that's what I think.
Thanks for that, Simon. Great question. What is the podium battle looking like as we complete lap number 11 here in Austria? It's a race still being led by Bagnaia. 3/10 clear of Miller, who's really now coming under...
Quartararo is just ever so slightly a 10th or 2 per lap, closing in on this leading group. He did a 1:30.1 last time around. Quartararo, for the first time, is within 2 seconds of the...
Luigi Dell'Igna. He knows that this is a big opportunity for Pecco Bagnaia to claw back more points in the World Championship strap with Aleix Espargaro.
And then running in fourth position also has that harder option on. He was also in the low 130s last time around, but the fastest rider on from Luca Marini, who's having a really good afternoon. The Mooney VR46 rider, he's as fast as the leaders at the moment, and he is now right on the tail. You can see in the back.
And in the final two sectors, here comes Marini. He's found a way through on Maverick Vinales. It will him. So unfortunately, as Lewis mentioned, it was Darren Binder that had the problem on that previous lap. He had such a sensation back in. He started this lap 1.1 seconds behind the Spaniard. Through sector 2, that gap had come down to 0.8 of a second. So this has been
8.9.1.
That's awesome. We felt like we could see it with our own eyes, and he started to make a big play towards the podium.
Lap. So Bagnaia into his rhythm at the moment. As we mentioned before the race started, he's never won 3.
This is sweeping now through the second sector, and that gap was down to just under half a second now. Fabio Quartararo, he's had so strong, they've got such a great record. Quartararo's riding out of his skin.
Are some of the Ducatis in this moment were on board with the reigning world champion. This is to complete lap 16 of 28. Let's keep an eye on their lap times as they come across the line. Bagnaia did respond that time around, and he was the fastest of the leading 4.
A bit quicker than a lot of the riders directly ahead of him.
Martin's
gone wide. He's made a mistake. He's made the mistake. Jorge Martin then now down, encountering some issues. He clearly put the left arm up there briefly. Fonz in the Eto.
In the third sector of the lap, so clearly whatever happened, it's a temporary issue, and he's now got back on it. But obviously a poor lap for Martin, 1:31.5. Of course, that included the mistake at.
Keep looking at Jorge Martin in the braking zones for turn 1 and then the chicane. I don't know if he's just looking down at his dashboard or to his left-hand side when he's going on the brakes. On this race, after Joan Mir's first lap exit at turn 4, compounding a miserable 2022 for the ex-world champion here in Austria. It's been a pretty enthralling affair so far as Pecco Bagnaia has just started to.
Joan Mir crashing out in the very early stages.
What can Alex Rins do then to try and find a way through on that Suzuki Jeep? That's the closest he's been to Jack Miller as Binder gets up the inside of Maverick Vinales in the braking zone. Vinales' podium challenge is, it's fades
off. I don't know whether he made a mistake on the last lap. He did a 1:31.2. Marini a 30.3. He's right on the back of the Aprilia.
Yeah, Marini might do is.
We saw this back at the GP did come in this Grand Prix last year in the flag-to-flag race when he finished in 5th. He could be on for that result in the dry this year.
Well, 3rd place here in this Austrian Grand Prix, given how strong the Ducatis have been, would represent a fan, though. The pressure's been building, and finally, Luca Marini side by side on that sweep down to turn 4. Marini does take that 5th place. Just been a sight to behold. Absolutely awesome the way that Fabio Quartararo has gone about his business here this weekend in Austria. Yes, the exactly why he is the reigning champ and the current MotoGP World Championship leader. He desperately...
As you say, this would feel like a win in many respects for Quartararo if he can get out of here with a podium or even 2nd place. Bit back from the number 43 Ducati up ahead of him. But Quartararo, you just need to look at the front of this race. Ducati, then Quartararo's Yamaha, and then 2 more Ducatis in 4th.
1 second clear of Jack Miller. It looks like Miller realised that he hasn't got the front-running pace of his teammate, and now he's going to potentially be the wingman. Just try and protect Bagnaia, or certainly protect...
Try and limit the damage to his World Championship challenge.
You just wonder, knowing that this would be 60.
Yeah, you only missed the apex of turn 9 there, Miller, by maybe half a metre or so, but that was all it took to lose him that momentum through the corner. And look at how it's brought Martin into play as well. Martin did a 1:30.
Very, very hard for this podium here in Austria.
Yeah, Quartararo is now going to have to make a decision. He's going to have to either pass or be passed, I suspect, in this Grand Prix. There's Aleix Espargaro. Is he going to get that a pretty...
On the lap that he eventually pulled out of the Grand Prix, he had to run off the circuit at turn 3 and cost him a whole bunch of time as well. Now then, Jorge Martin, look into the chicane. Is he going to get outgunned on the climb up towards turn 3? No, he's not. Miller tries to hold on to 3rd place.
This is a big lap. Can Quartararo break clear so the Ducatis cannot pass him down the straight?
Fabio Quartararo has had some memorable moments in his MotoGP. Quartararo, he has gapped Miller and Martin to make sure he's not vulnerable as they power out of the first corner. Crucially
now, struggling for grip and struggling for brakes as Rins goes in hot into turn 3. That promotes Brad Binder now.
The charge of Fabio Quartararo, they couldn't. He was just simply too good, too fast. And Quartararo in what now looks like a relatively safe sector on Friday. And that's really opened the door for Brad Binder. Brad Binder, you know he's not going to need a second invitation. Or he's back at the front, and we're about to start the last lap here. 4 points. Quartararo
he couldn't,
was half a second quicker than Bagnaia.
Martin through.
He's gone down. Jorge Martin Pecco Bagnaia does look like he's on course to be just the second Ducati rider in MotoGP. The Bologna factory here in Austria. Pecco Bagnaia wins at the Red Bull Ring in Spielberg in 20. Zarco 5th. Alexis Bargrove does finish inside the top 6. Binder 7th. Rins, Bezzecchi and Martin.